I think that my ex-wife Anna is mentally unstable. It pains me to say that we have had multiple incidents due to her insanity. I fear for my little daughter's safety, so that's why I'm applying for full custody. I hope you see all the evidence of Anna's insanity and grant me full custody. I just want to protect myself and my daughter.
That's what my ex-husband Toby said in court. I am Anna, the insane ex-wife who lost custody of her little 5-year-old daughter. My ex-husband did everything in his power to take her away from me. He was a filthy rich man who had a high-paying job. Toby used all his influence to produce fake proof to paint me as an insane person. He even got our daughter to lie about certain incidents so that I would lose custody of her. My poor daughter was too young to understand what was going on. The judge granted him full custody and ordered me to attend therapy. My rights would be re-established once the psychiatrist cleared me in court. Well, Toby didn't stick around for that. He took my daughter and moved to a different country, and he took his mistress with him. Yes, that's why we divorced. I found him cheating on me. I was enraged and heartbroken. I said, "How could you do this to me, Toby? You cheated on me with Jean. You knew I had a problem with that friend of yours, and you decided to prove me right. Why did you do this? Why didn't you just leave?"
Jean can't have kids, Anna. I needed to stay with you for biological children. I have Emily now, so I don't need to stay with you anymore. I'm filing for divorce.
What the hell is wrong with you? This is why you married me, so that you can have a list of your own? You're a disgusting man, Toby. Aren't you ashamed of yourself?
No, I'm not ashamed of myself. I let you stay with Emily for 5 years. This was enough for her to take the best from her biological mother. She doesn't need you anymore. Jean will be her new mum now.
I won't allow that. She is my daughter. I will fight for her and keep her with me. I am her mother.
You won't be for long, Anna, mark my words.
Toby was right about that. He had his elaborate plan sorted out. He had the fake proof ready and did a good job of running away from our country before anyone found out the truth. Jean told me everything. She was the one to gloat about how long they had planned their escape. She also said, "I am happy to see you in pain, Anna. You thought that Toby married you because he loved you. You thought that he chose you over me. Well, you were wrong. He is and will always be mine. So you and Toby made this elaborate plan to make me look insane. You two made fake reports from a corrupt psychiatrist too. That's right, Anna. Even though I don't want your brat of a daughter, Toby wants his child. So we had to find a way to get rid of you. You must be surprised to see how fast people can make up lies when paid the right amount. Now you can go back to your poor life while I live like a queen with your husband and child." I was able to cite these texts to court. After a court-mandated evaluation, it was determined that I wasn't insane. I filed a case against Toby and Jean for what they did and also sued for rights to Emily. However, Toby had taken Emily and left by then. For years I tried to reach them, but to no avail. Toby even forgot child support so that I can't contact him in any way. I tried my best but failed to have my daughter back. I won't tell you how I spent 12 years without Emily. I've no words for it. My world was shattered. God is there after all. After waiting for 12 years, I finally saw my daughter Emily for the first time. She was a new admission to the school where I was a teacher. She was new to my class, so I had her file in my hands. It was her. My daughter Emily was back. She knew I was her mother. I could see the recognition in her eyes, but she didn't look at me with love. She looked at me with hate. My heart was breaking. Still, I didn't approach her. I wanted to give her time to come to me. Emily did come to me, but what she said absolutely traumatized me. She said, "Are you going to pretend that you are not my mum? I have been here for a week, but you didn't come to even see me once. Emily, my child, I missed you. You don't have an idea what I've been going through for these 12 years. Seeing you here again is making me want to cry and smile at the same time. I wanted to give you time, so I didn't approach you straight away. Don't lie to me, Mum. I can see that my dad was right. I convinced him to fly back here and let me join this school. I wanted to see if you even missed me a little bit. I should have listened to him when he told me that you abandoned me, that you didn't want me. Emily, what are you talking about? I don't understand. Why did you abandon me, Mum? What was wrong with me that you refused to be my mum? You're here being motherly to your students, but you forgot your own daughter. How could you do this to your own daughter, Mum? I hate you! I hate you! Emily started to cry, and seeing her just broke my heart. After years of yearning for my daughter, I finally had her with my arm's reach. But she hates me. She thinks I abandoned her. She thinks that I don't love her at all. None of this was true. All these were freaking lies made by Toby. He lied to my daughter so that he and Jean could be the only parents to her. My daughter was fed lies, but now I was going to tell her the truth. She's old enough to know everything. So I didn't hold back. I said, I never abandoned you, Emily. I wish I could tell you just how much I love you. Being separated from you absolutely killed me from the inside. All these years I've tried to find you, but I couldn't. No, you are lying to me. Dad told me that you left me. You didn't want me, so you left. He was heartbroken and took me to a different country. You never once tried to reach out to him or me. Jean was a mother to me all these years. I had no way to reach you, Emily. I didn't abandon you and didn't leave your dad. Your father divorced me for Jean. He had been cheating on me for a year. When I found out, he used his power to produce fake proof of my insanity. Then he gained full custody of you and moved away. No, that can't be true. You're lying to me. All these are lies. You cannot be telling me the truth. I have all the proof, Emily. All the court documents and even what happened after. The courts made me visit a psychiatric facility and I agreed. They found nothing wrong with me. I and my lawyer pressed the psychiatrist who made the false documents. She confessed to it immediately. I tried to sue Toby, but by then he was already in a different country. If you are telling the truth, I need to see the proof. I won't believe you otherwise. You need to show me the proof. Okay then, Emily. Come to my house this weekend. Don't tell your father or stepmother. I'll show you everything. You can bring someone with you if you feel unsafe. I won't mind. Just don't tell your dad. He might stop you from knowing the truth. Emily agreed to meet me at my house. I was relieved that my daughter was at least giving me a chance to explain myself. I knew that once I showed her all the proof, she would start to hate her dad. From what I have seen of her, my daughter seems to be a reasonable person, unlike Toby. It was time that I taught Toby a lesson. He had committed a huge crime by taking my daughter away from me. Now he will face some consequences for his actions. My daughter Emily came to see me at my house. I was surprised to see that she came alone. I was expecting her to bring someone since she no longer knew me very well. Emily just said that she felt safe around me and didn't have any problem coming alone. I quickly went to my room and retrieved the file that contained all the court papers. I presented them to Emily and let her read everything. By the end of it, Emily was in tears. I didn't interrupt her and let her come to terms with the truth. She said, "My father betrayed you, Mum. And he betrayed me. Oh my God, I used to love this man. I always told everyone how proud I am of my father, how he raised me when my mum left. Everything was a lie. I know that you love your dad, Emily. All children love their parents, but I needed to show you what your father is like. It broke my heart when you told me that you hate me. I won't force you to love me, but I needed you to know that I never abandoned you. Mum, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said those things. I know Dad lied to me, but I should have tried to find out the truth. I should have done something to get in touch with you." Don't blame yourself, Emily. You were just a child. I don't want you to feel that you should have done something. Your poor mother wasn't capable of finding you. It's my fault. No, Mum. I can see that you did your best. That man I called Dad used all of his money and influence to stop you from being with me. He did this so that Jean can replace you as my mother. I will never forgive him. Mum, will you fight for me? I don't want to live with my father anymore. In fact, I don't even want to call him Dad. If you want to be with me, I will fight for you, Emily. You can be sure of that. Now that I have you near me, I'll never let you go again. Emily and I had some really serious heart-to-heart conversations about what happened. She showed a lot of patience for someone her age. I could see that my little girl turned out to be just like me. She told me how Toby and Jean almost forced her to accept Jean as her mum. Emily said, "You know what, Mum? It kind of makes sense now. Toby and Jean always insisted that I called Jean Mum. I wasn't ever comfortable with it. They even tried to bribe me and took me to a therapist when I was young. I kept asking for you and refused to call anyone else Mum. The therapist actually scolded Dad and Jean for being forceful with me and dismissing my feelings. Jean can't have kids, Emily. That is why she tried to raise you as her own. I know for a fact that Jean had doubts about having you in her life, but Toby wanted biological children and wouldn't leave without you. I'm thoroughly disgusted with that man! He used you just because he wanted a biological child! People like this make me want to hell. Toby and Jean are both horrible people. I don't even want to see their faces anymore. I don't want to go home. I'm sorry, Emily. You have to go home. Legally at the moment, I'm not your guardian, so I can't keep you with me. You're still a minor, Emily. You need to go home and wait for me to get all the papers ready. I will inform the police that Toby and Jean are back. Soon they will be presented with a lawsuit. I told Emily my entire plan and gave her my phone number. I hugged her goodbye as she left, but I also promised to bring her back as soon as possible. Then I called my lawyer and told him to proceed with the case. Soon Toby and Jean will be served with a good dose of justice. My lawyers were already prepared with all the papers. I had informed them about the situation as soon as I saw Emily's name pop up in my class, so they had all the documents prepared beforehand. 2 days after Emily came to know about the truth, I got a call from an unknown number. When I answered it, I realized that it was Toby. He said,
"How dare you turn my daughter against me? You've been plotting and scheming all these years to get back at me. I can see that now. What kind of monster are you, Anna? My own daughter doesn't want to call me Dad anymore. All of this is your fault, Toby. You're the one who plotted and schemed to replace me with Jean. Looks like your plan didn't work after all. I'm glad my daughter now knows what a horrible man you are. You took her away from her mother. You don't deserve the title of a father. How dare you say that? I raised her for 12 years. She cannot abandon me for you. I won't allow it. I'm her legal guardian and she is still a minor. Emily will never be yours."
We'll see about that soon, Toby. First of all, Emily is only a year away from turning 18. Once that happens, she would be free to live with whoever she pleases. From the looks of it, she doesn't even want to see your face anymore. Who knows, I might actually end up living with my daughter very soon.
No, that will never happen. You're just trying to scare me. You have no rights over her, Anna. You cannot take her away from me. You can't do it. I will go to the police and ruin your life again. The courts won't listen to you.
I think it's a little too late for that, Toby. I'll be the one going to the police and ruining your life. Do you have any idea that the police were trying to track you down? Now that I have your information, my lawyer will be contacting you about a lawsuit. About how you used fake documents to prove my fake insanity. Soon, the court will punish you for what you did. I said that and hung up on Toby. I had zero interest in hearing him yell profanities at me. Instead, I called Emily and comforted her while she cried about what happened. Her father had been harassing her for getting in touch with me. Toby was also furious about the lawsuit and yelled at Emily for ruining his life. Jean joined him as well. Hearing her cry on the phone sent me into a fit of rage. I called my lawyer and immediately went over to Toby's new address. I also took my lawyer to avoid unnecessary trouble. I called my daughter and told her to come with me. Toby and Jean came to the door and said,
"No! I won't allow Emily to leave this house. She is my daughter. She's not going anywhere. You have no rights over her."
Is that so, Toby? Have you forgotten the fact that I am still legally her mother? I lost visitation rights long back, but I didn't have to terminate my rights. I'm still her mum.
I will call the police on you. Don't you dare take Emily away.
Call the police, Toby. They knew exactly what you had done. Call them and let them arrest you and your mistress. That would be fun to watch. Don't worry, I also informed CPS about your antics against Emily. They'll be here soon as well. Hearing me say that made Toby and Jean get very scared. They looked pale, and Jean had tears in her eyes. I guess they never thought that I would try to prove myself. They thought I would forget my daughter and give her up? Well, they were wrong. I was here to fight for her, and I was here to destroy them. Jean understood how deep in trouble she was, so she said, "Let the girl go, Toby. I told you that keeping Emily will only add to our troubles. We already have a lawsuit to work on. You're still worried about that brat Emily. Let Anna take her away. I have no interest in being with her."
How can you say that, Jean? You've been Emily's mother for 12 years. She's also your daughter.
She can never be my daughter, Toby.
She's just your daughter. I was forced to take care of her because you won't let her go. Look what trouble she has landed us in. We should have left her here with Anna. It's your and the brat's fault that we are in this problem.
Jean and Toby started to fight between themselves while I took Emily with me. I left them to nuke their own marriage through the fights. From the looks of it, Toby and Jean were done for good. The things they said were very bad. I don't think they can come back from it. I took advantage of the situation and brought Emily to my place. Days passed and Toby soon realized just how badly he had messed up. He was actually arrested by the police, since the crimes he committed were insane. Jean was let go with a warning because she managed to blame it all on Toby. However, she would still stand trial and face consequences for other reasons. I guess I forgot to mention that I filed a case for alienation of affection against her. That idea was given to me by my lawyer. She's a champ. Emily came to live with me since Toby was in jail. Jean told the authorities that she wanted nothing to do with her. Toby begged to see and talk to Emily, but she refused to hear him out. She didn't even go back to him when he was released on bail. At the end of the court case, Toby escaped prison. But he had to pay me a hefty amount in damages. By then, Emily had already turned 18 and was living permanently with me. With Toby's bail and money paid for damages, his bank took a serious hit. He was let go from his job because of his criminal record. Last I heard, he was trying to find a minimum wage job, since they are the only ones considering applicants with criminal charges. Meanwhile, Emily has joined a college nearby and is still staying with me. We're both spending a lot of time together and slowly making up for the time we have lost.